Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cat Sports. It's our weekly Tigers breakdown. Tigers staying around 500 as they have been doing since basically the month of May, throughout the whole entire month of May. They split the week 1-1 and lost one against the Pirates and split the 4-game series with Boston. Offense usually shows up one day, doesn't show up the other day. They won 8-0 the first day against the Pirates, and then the second game they lost 10-2. And then with the Red Sox, they won the first game 5-0, lost the second game 5-3, and then they ended up losing the third game of the series 6-3, but then won today in extra innings 8-4. So,
right, it's the inconsistency. They're doing what we thought since the beginning of the season. They'd hover around 500, and hopefully, maybe have a stretch where they were better and keep them in the wild card hunt. And so far, that's what's happening. How many games out are we now from the wild card?
Wild card. We are currently 4 games back.
So yeah, I mean,
of the Minnesota Twins.
We're starting June, and it's like I said, it's hard to predict which way they're going to go. If they're gonna, probably more than likely, they'll probably go more in the way of being below 500. But who knows? If their bats catch on, Veerling's had a good week.
Baez had a big hit today.
Yep.
Parts of the offense, you got Torkelson, who was even benched today for other people. He's been 4 of 30, and I think 4 of those hits. I think I heard like 3 of those hits came in one game. So he's not hitting, and that's a problem.
To understand this. It's hard because you can't do that.
He had a good year last year, and he just sucked this year for the most part. What
I don't get it.
So we'll see, I guess, what ends up fully happening with him as the year goes on, but Hitch isn't afraid to bench him.
He's not worth it. He's not worth signing to any kind of big contract.
Not if he's not consistent.
No, he isn't. And he's got to come out of this because you can't, no matter as exciting as he can be, the potential he has to hit home runs, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you have to worry about. Like, you're going to find a replacement, and it's first base. It's not like it's a difficult position to find someone at. So,
right. I mean,
but it's somebody who you thought was going to hit well and be a decent player, and that's the problem.
You cannot bat 200 or sub 200 expect to stay in the.
As a first overall pick,
right? It's just embarrassing.
That's where we're floating around right now with him, is whether or not he's even worth it. And it's his third year,
right,
playing. But we'll see what ends up happening. The week, it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad of a week, but depending on how you fully look at it, we start a 3-game series on the road against the Texas Rangers, who also are sitting at a 29 and 30 or same record as us. For some reason, it didn't update again, but they were sitting at roughly the same record as us. And so were the Brewers. Later this week, we come back home to play the Brewers, which are an above 500 team. I believe they are in the top of the NL Central, if I am not mistaken. They're winning the NL Central. So a division leader this week and a team that's hovering around 500. I expect maybe again a split this week. We're gonna probably be hovering around that 500 for a while.
Right. You don't think that they're going to add anybody, do you?
If you stay around 500, they might, but I don't know.
Yeah. He doesn't give you that impression that they want to, that they're kind of, they know where they're at. They're not where they want to be, so that they're not going to add anybody probably until, the Tigers are in a position where they actually look like they can do something, and they're not there yet. So
that's why it's iffy. The Brewers right now are 36-23, so we're gonna play them, and then after them, you're gonna play a sub 500 team in the Nationals, and then you're going to play another sub 500 team in the Astros, and then a good team in the Braves, and then a crappy White Sox, a really really good Phillies team, the crappy Angels, and that's what all you're facing this month. So if you get to the end of this month and you're even 5 games above 500.
Right. Carpenter's hurt now now, right?
Yeah, Carpenter's hurt. He got hurt this week, but Badu kind of filled in well this week. And I mean, you got the pieces to fill in here and there as long as it's not long-term injuries, right? If he's out for the
his back, so
yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't even know he was out for that long. I didn't fully see that.
I believe he did. I think that's what I heard.
Well,
he should be gone for a while. So, Badu, it's Badu time.
Yeah. Let's see. I found the thing. He's on the 10-day injury list with a back injury, so I doubt it's a broken back. Whoever told you it was a broken back.
I read that somewhere.
Whoever told you it was a broken back is is wrong. It's just he's out with a back injury. So, but like I said, this month is a month where you can catch up, maybe get above 500 by a few games, and put some pressure on in July for you to be able to potentially, when you get near the trade deadline, to do something. Because right at the moment, once you hit July, you're facing decent teams.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to face decent teams eventually anyway. It's up to them.
It's a lot of
avoid it.
July. You want to be good by July because July is actually mostly full of division games. You play 3 games against the Twins. You play a 4-game set against the Guardians. And in between that, you're playing LA, which is a good team. Blue Jays, which are a decent team.
The Dodgers?
Yep. And you're going to be playing the Guardian, another 4-game set. So 8 games against the Guardians, 6 games against the Twins. Scratch that, 10 games against the Guardians.
This is in July.
In July. So you got to get.
Out by August.
So if you do not have a good July, so if you cannot find out how good of a team you are by July, you are going to be screwed by July because it's mostly divisional opponents, and your non-divisional opponents are the Reds and the Dodgers and the Blue Jays.
Okay.
So it is a month where you're going to have to figure out
I think we know where they're going to be going. We'll be very surprised if they're still in the playoff hunt by the end of July.
A bright side.
But, who knows?
Bright side, when have we had the opportunity to talk about a 300 batting average on the Tigers?
Right.
So, Matt Vierling is around the 300 batting average, and it's been a while since we've had anybody with 300. Green is leading the team with 10 home runs. Carpenter, 29 RBIs. Canna, a 359 on base percentage. And Green.
I think we know, like I said, it's pretty obvious. There's no secret here. Torkelson has to get hot. And we have to, more than him. I mean, our bats have to get hot, but especially his. We have to start producing some runs, and this pitching needs to stay where it's at. I mean, at least where they're at. They're a pretty decent pitching squad. So,
in the last, so far this season, he's batting a 201 with 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, and a 597 on place plus slugging. In the past week, he batted a 143 with 1 home run and on base plus slugging of 476.
We're probably extremely lucky to have been 500 this week, considering that. I mean, this is our big bat. Torkelson and Green are supposed to be our future, and that guy needs to get his act together.
Green this week, he hit 500.
Right, Green's playing really
and
well.
And an on-base plus slugging of 1.1.
So figure what this guy's problem is. I know everyone wants to blame coaching or something else, but I don't think that's it. I don't think AJ Hinch would have a bad hitting coach.
I think the saving grace so far this season has literally been Wenzel Perez. Meadows got hurt, and Wenzel Perez stepped in. He played well. He is batting a 268, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, and on-base plus slugging of 783. Just this week, he's batting 600 with an on-base plus slugging of 1.4.
Right. So, I mean, how has Meadows been doing down in the minors?
I mean, I guess not good enough to bring him up over Badu, but
those are the guys we talked about before the season started. Torkelson, Meadows, and Green. Those guys were supposed to be our horses. And 2 of them have basically just might as well take them to the glue factory.
Wenzel Perez has basically replaced what we thought Meadows would be doing. Batting decent, maybe not all the home run power, but hitting. And Perez has had some big hits while he's been up here. So at least there's that, but there's no one replacing the production we expected out of Torkelson. Because you signed Cannon to be decent, and knowing he should be decent, and not potentially fill in for Torkelson. Vierling is doing what we thought he would do. He was a good bat. He's just batting better this year. Baez, he's doing what we thought he would do, suck, and on occasion do something. But besides that, right, it's your bullpen has struggled every now and then to keep up.
We knew that would happen.
Which is a typical Tigers thing. We haven't had a decent bullpen since 2000s.
Right. But I don't think they're any worse than most of the teams that I've seen.
But we'll hopefully have a good month of June and we can get some hope going into July. But with all that being said, though,
if you want to get to the Lions season, that's
or the Red Wings.
Those are Red Wings. Well, the Red Wings are farther out than the Lions. Yeah, the Lions are in August. We want to at least get to August, guys. Let's do this. Give us something to root for.
We'll see. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think so far.
Before we go off the air, I want to know how the Walleyes did.
They lost.
They're out of it?
Yeah. But that's not even related to baseball.
That was the best hockey game I ever saw.
That was not even related to baseball. You couldn't say that for a hockey
game. All right, whatever.
Well, you know. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Until next time, see everybody soon.